Banky special.
Yeah.
Pure deliciousness.
Pure deliciousness, man. My name is Banky, man. Everybody calls me Banky. That's the name that I got from my grandmother when I was young. I'm coming out here after 30 years. Yeah, I ain't got nothing, but I'm gonna have something because I'm rich in personality, you know, and I'm rich in love. My family love me, and that's really all that counts. Yeah, I said that, man. When I said that, he just looked up at the booth where they had the gun, and he bagged up, and they put the gun down on me, and they was like, "Get off the phone now! Get on the ground! Get on the ground!" So I'm stuck, man. I'm in a crazy situation because I'm trying to stand my ground, but at the same time, I'm standing up against a gun now. They ready to shoot me just because I won't get off the phone. Now, if it don't be for my wife, I probably would have got shot. Cause she just hung up the phone. She kept telling me, get off the phone, just go and get off the phone, call back. And I'm like, boom. But when I go to put my ear back to the phone, she had hung up. So I hang the phone up. They steady hollering telling me to get on the ground. Get on the ground. So I get on the ground, right? I get on my knees. They tell me lay all the way down. I say, I'm on my knees, man, period. I'm on my knees. Call the watch commander over here. So by then, they had already called anyway. So I got my hands behind my head. They called the watch commander. He stand over top of me talking like he tough, you know, which I wanted to just get up and crush him. But I knew what was going to happen to me. So I sat down there. The watch commander and them come, man. Now, they get me up. They take me in the sergeant's office. So I'm in the sergeant's office with about 2-3 officers. This clown, Hamlet, and the watch commander, which was a lieutenant too, but he the head lieutenant. No, matter of fact, he was a captain. And he was the watch commander, so he running the whole ship. That whoever the watch commander is, he controlled the whole compound that day. He's the head man in charge. You know what I'm saying? There may be somebody there that's over him, but he the watch commander, so he running everything. And that's what it was. This happened to be probably the best officer on the compound, man, because he was level-headed. He was fair, and he was calm dude. He talked to you like you was a man. You know what I'm saying? And I think, man, I want to get his name right, man, because he was an all right dude as far as being an officer. And, man, I think his name was Pendleton. I want to say Pendleton, but I'm not really sure. But either way, he called me in there, this fake lieutenant in there, trying to tell his side of the story. About he feel threatened, I did this, I said that, whatever. I told him what the situation was. I said, listen, man, they open these doors and call wreck. When they open these doors and call wreck, dudes go to the phone. I get to the phone, I get on the phone. He come in 5 minutes after we on the phone and try to tell me to hang my call. I got to pay for this call, man. Ain't nobody got money to be paying for nothing to do. You not using. You know, my people out on the street, they work every day. Ain't nobody got money to be paying for that. Don't let us out and let us get on the phone if you going to come right in 5 minutes later and say lock up. You could have did that before you opened the doors. I said, that's what I was trying to explain to him. I said, but he going to walk up on me on the phone like I'm a child or something and try to scream on me. I said, man, I'm not going for that. I'm not going for that. And by this time, I'd have been locked up about 15, 16 years. You know, so I know the count. I know how the due time. I know what's going on. You're not just going to handle me like I'm one of these young kids that just coming up in here and don't know no better. I know what's going on, man. And I'm trying to explain that to him, and he trying to scream on me and talk to me like I'm a kid. And I say, I ain't going for that. I'm not going for that from him or nobody else. I'm going to stand up like a man because that's what I am, and I'm not going to be disrespected. You know what I'm saying? I don't disrespect you. Don't disrespect me. So he listened to me. He listened to him. He telling him he want me locked up. You know, but he ain't got no justification why he want me locked up. You know, he said I threatened him. I said, what'd I say? What did I say? I said, you threatened me when you walked up on me instead of being professional and saying, look, this is what's going on, da-da-da-da-da-da-da. You coming up on me like you a gangster, and I'm going to respond like a gangster. You know, so he told the dude, told me to step out. I step out. He in there talking to the lieutenant. I can't hear him. I don't know what he's saying to him. After about 5 minutes, they bring me back in. He tell me that go back to my cell. You know, don't worry about the situation. The situation is over. You know, Mr. Hamlet, said that, he takes some part in what he did. Now, you take some part in what he did. Y'all just go ahead, let bygones be bygones, and go ahead on back to your cell. So I said, yeah, all right. I go back to my cell, and from that point on, that clown had it out for me. He had it out for me as worse as he could get it, man. But I ain't like him at all. I ain't never liked him. I swear to God, on everything I love, I wanted to smash his face in so bad. But I knew the consequences and the price to pay for it was be too high. But man, this one dude that I just detested, man, because he was literally a piece of garbage, man. That's what he was. He came in there with the whole objective to make a dude life miserable every day, because his life probably was miserable outside of these walls. Because a lot of officers, they come up in there and they'll portray this image like this going on, that's going on, or like they got so much going on in the real world. They ain't got nothing going on. They ain't got nothing going on besides this penitentiary. You know what I'm saying? And when they in there, they're a boss. And when they're at home, they probably not a boss. So I understood that. By this time, I understood what the situation was. So like I say, and sure enough, man, it probably won't 3-4 weeks later, they come tell me I gotta move. Now I got a job and everything. I'm the pod barber. Why would I be moving? But all the time is I'm moving because it's his building and he don't want me in this building no more. So they moved me all the way to the other building on the other side of the yard. So when I go to the other building, man, that's when I end up being in the cell by myself at first, and a couple of days later, that's when Cody came. Y'all remember this story about Cody? If you don't, go back and watch the video I did about white boy Cody. Cody was my selling, man. Cody was my dude, man. 100, salute to Cody. He be home this year. I'm going to bring him to y'all. As soon as he get home, I'm going to put him on this camera, let him talk to y'all and everything. But, yeah, I end up being sellers with Cody, man. And I end up meeting the dude, man, Mon, which turns out to be, to this day, man, that's my best friend out here in the free world, man. That's my dude. It's my brother. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to him. But I end up meeting Mon. He from Suffolk, Virginia. And I end up meeting Munchie, which was his partner at the time. Munchie is from DC. That's my homie. And me and them two dudes formed a bond. Both of them was younger than me. I had been locked up longer than them. Both of them got a lot of time to do. Both of them got L notes, life sentences. That's what an L note is. And I took them two dudes under my wing, man, and that was my little core group, man. That was my core group, me and them two cats right there. And I got back into my routine, man, and I was dealing with them, man. We working out every day. We doing our thing. Mon was, he was into the pharmaceuticals on the street. So, that was his thing. That's what he ended up getting locked up for. Situations that stem from that. But that's what he ended up getting locked up for. But, he was from Suffolk. We in Sussex. A lot of people that worked there was from that area, so a lot of people knew him or knew of him because he was a big boy on the street. Even at a young age, he was doing this thing out there, getting money, and a lot of people knew him. So, subsequently, Mon had connections with people on the street that was working there, so they was, doing their thing. So Mon was end up getting the product in there and was making money, so even though it was ill-advised, I got right on up in the mix, and we was all just doing our thing, making a little money, man, doing time, trying to survive, trying to get by. And we had a little group, man. Us three. We call ourselves, the Rock. You know what I'm saying? We used to throw up a little sign like the Rockefellers because, Jay-Z had the Rock. They call themselves the Rockefellers. It was Jay-Z, Damon Dash, and Biggs. So we fashioned ourselves after them, saying, man, we just going to do what we got to do, man. We going to get it. We going to live. We going to try to, make the best of this situation. And that's what we was doing, man. We was grinding. We was making money, man. We was trying to, enjoy ourselves the best that we could under the circumstances that we was in prison, and we was doing okay, man. I had my wife, I had the visits. Everything was to me, in far as penitentiary go, I was in a comfortable position. Not comfortable, but comfortable in prison as I could be. I'll get visits every week. Visits was Saturday and Sunday. I got visits on both days. My wife was coming back to see me both days. Then it came to the point where we had been kicking it back so much, then we started talking about getting remarried. We started talking about getting remarried. We had the conversation about the situation or whatever. We ended up setting up a date, and we actually did get remarried. We got remarried, and man, that day right there alone when we got remarried, man, like I tell y'all all the time, there's no good days in prison. But to me, the closest good day there was in prison was probably that day. I was happy to have my wife back. We had been divorced for some years, and she had went on and moved on with her life. She ended up having a child with another person, which crushed me to my heart. But this is life. You know what I'm saying? This is life in prison. To have a relationship in prison, man, is it's one of the most difficult things you could possibly do. But at the time when I was in prison and I was so young, I had no understanding of that. All I wanted was, and all I knew was I want my wife. I don't want no care nothing about this. I want you to be with me. I want you to come see me. I wanted to be, us to do this time together, which in retrospect, looking back now that I'm older and wiser, that was selfish because of the simple fact that I put myself in this position, not her. It was my wrongdoing, the things that I did that ended me up in this situation. So to have someone to ride with you or to be with you when you in this situation, you blessed, and that is a bonus because that is not what they had to do because they didn't commit no crime. They didn't do nothing wrong. They didn't put themselves in this position. You did. So for them to still follow you and still hold you down, that's a blessing. But when you young, you don't understand that lesson. That's the blessing in that lesson. You don't understand that at that time. All you know is that, no, this is how I want it. This is how it's supposed to be. If you with me, you with me. If you not, you not. And that was the position that I was in. That was the stage in life that I was in. But, like I say, my love for her allowed me to forgive her and accept her back in my life. We subsequently ended up getting married again. And, man, I can remember when the date came for us to get married, we was over there, man. Now I'm getting married in prison. So we was over there, man, and I think being that Sussex 2 was so green and so new, they didn't know really the rules and regulations about how to do this. I think I might have been one of the first dudes that got married on there, So what they did was they had the preacher come in and everything, man, and we was over there, and I had a special visit that day. We weren't nobody gonna be in there with us. The preacher married us. We did our vows. We did this, that, and the third. And then they put us we got the visiting room on Sussex right here. Then you got the multi-purpose room, which was an extension of the visiting room, right? So when the visiting is going on, this stuff is full, it's packed. And when they get overpacked, they open up the other room and you go in there, and that's where the extra people be at. So we was in the visiting room when we got married. When we finished getting married and the preacher wanted to get all the paperwork and everything straight, they put us in the multi-purpose room, and he left. And ain't nobody in there but me and her. Nobody in there but me and her. No guards, no nothing. So I'm like, man, this is crazy. So I felt like it was a setup. I was nervous, pervious. I'm telling y'all right now. I was super nervous, pervious, man. We in there by ourselves, and it was just unbelievable. I had never been with her or any other woman at that time by myself, free, with nobody, standing over top of us since I had been in prison. So man, it was a memorable experience and something that I got in my heart and in my mind, man, for a long time. But but it's prison. So just like everything in prison, it ain't never what you think it is. Because, we might have been in there for like 35, 40 minutes by ourselves before one little nosy officer was walking through there on her break, and she seen us in there, went through going to the snack machine to get something for her lunch, I guess, and she gets on the radio, walkie-talkie, and call the watch commander office and say, Y'all got them people in there getting married or whatever, and they in there by themselves. They ain't got no supervision in there. They ain't got no CO in there or no nothing. So, boom. Within 5 minutes, police in there tell us, look, y'all got to move this from here to over here. So they put us back in the big visitation room where they had 2 COs sit right there and watch us for the rest of the visit that we had for our wedding day. So it was crazy, man. But that just goes to show you that nothing is as expected in prison. Not a thing, you know. But it was all good, you know. We had already had some time alone, some time together. And like I say, for the rest of my bit, that was never available again. You know what I'm saying? Never available again. So it's a cherished moment, man. It's a moment I remember for the rest of my life. But like I said, that went on, man. We ended up getting back together. We was married, man. We was, you know, visiting every weekend, man. I had my stepson coming up there visit me. He had took a liking to me, man. We, you know, had formed a bond or whatever. And everything was going all right, man. Everything was going good, man. And I was in a comfort zone, which is hard to get in prison because so much chaotic craziness and foolishness going on around you. But when you have something on the street that you're actually living for and it's actually giving you stability, it'll focus you where you will avoid most situations that you would not usually avoid. Because you have that irritation and frustration built up on you that anything can set you off. But when you got something that you don't want to lose, then you focus more better. So more times that I was with my wife, I was more focused on not getting in trouble. And that helped me a whole lot. That helped me a whole lot, man, you know. So like I said, that was going on, man. Me, Mon, and Munchie was doing our thing, just trying to, you know, stay afloat, to try to stay alive, you know what I'm saying, in penitentiary. Trying to do well in hell. And, you know, like I say, the culture of the penitentiary had changed. Man, dudes, you had a lot of new females that was coming there that had never worked in prison before. Young females, females from all around in the surrounding area. We was in Sussex. One is Sussex 1, Sussex 2. Sussex 2 was right next door. The penitentiary was built right beside each other. So a lot of them young women was coming in there. They never worked in prison before. They taking a job because they need to hire people. They ain't got a whole lot of workers. Man, they was coming up in there and them dudes was pulling them girls left and right, man. They might be there 3 months, 10 months, 8 months, and they might see somebody they like. They might see somebody that they're attracted to, and dudes cut into them, and the next thing you know, boom, they get walked off the compound for fraternizing or having a relationship with an inmate, you know. So it was it was crazy, man. It was a crazy time. A lot of dudes was getting caught up in them women. Dudes was fighting over the women, you know. This woman might be showing a little attention to this dude, showing a little attention to that dude, and dudes is beefing because dudes want a woman. That is the most, probably besides freedom, that's probably the most wanted thing in the penitentiary. You know, the affection and love of a woman. So when a dude can get that, and he think he can get it, and he close to it, anything that threatens that is a threat to him. So they lash out. And then, you know, what the crazy part about it is they end up getting the rumbling or beefing or stabbing each other up with the Bethlehem, and both of them gone, and then one of them get the woman and somebody else end up getting. Because 9 times out of 10, if a woman come into prison and she starts looking at a dude as if she might want him or something like that, she probably came in there for that. Looking for a man because she frustrated with the situation that went on in society where she can't find a man that's suitable for her, so she come to prison and figure she would treat one so nice and so kind that she can mold him into what she want him to be, and when he get out, he's hers, you know. And a lot of them come in there with that objective. It's just up to you to be able to determine if that's what she looking for or is she really into you. But it was going on Sussex, man. It was going down. I mean, them dudes was pulling women back to back. Now, by me going over to the visiting room every weekend, both days, almost every woman that worked the visiting room knew who I was. They knew me by name because of the situation. I was always over there. Either I'm the first person in the visiting room or I'm the last person to leave the visiting room. But I got to visit every visiting day. So a lot of them started coming up to talk to me on the compound because they seen me always over there at the visiting room. So when it wasn't visiting room day, those officers that work the visiting room usually would work the compound somewhere where they didn't have enough workers. So a lot of them would see me, oh, you be one over there. I see you over there with your wife and everything. Oh, your wife's so pretty. Oh, yeah, she dressed so good. And to me, at first, I used to take it as compliments, but then I started seeing that, you know, they was a little jealous of my wife, man, and they was a little bit envious. So some of them even used to have attitudes with me because they felt like they were the star of the institution. They the women on the institution that we lust for, that we want, that we got to have because of the position that we in. But when they see that you actually got a woman and that woman is actually beautiful or fine, oh yeah, they got a problem with you, man. They got a problem with you, and you don't even know what the problem is until you do the knowledge to it. But that's what it be, because now they realize that you don't need them. When you're not smiling in their face, or when you're not giving them compliments, or when you're not trying to be nice to them just for the sake of them not trying to cross you up, then they feel a certain type of way. So when they know you don't need them, and then they try to impose their will on you just as much as a man CEO would do. So I had a whole lot of them on there hating on me, man. I mean, they was tough, man. I mean, super tough. I remember one time a dude came on the compound. Young dudes was coming on the compound. Now, we could only order from certain vendors. We could only get tennis shoes and sweatsuits or something from certain vendors. But some dudes would come in from receiving, and they would have exclusive shoes like Jordans or Kobe Bryant's or whatever the shoe was at the time. If they had it on their property when they came in, they'd let them come in with it. So dudes would get in with it and realize that that's a commodity, that other people in prison can't get that, then they would sell it to you for an extraordinary price. You know, a dude might come in with a pair of Jordans on, and they new or fresh, and people want them so bad. Dudes that might be, you know, doing whatever they doing, getting money, they might get a dude's $300, $400, $500 for the pair of Jordans. You know what I'm saying? Just to get them, because they wanted to have. Even though dudes was in prison, dudes, a lot of them, a good portion of them, tried to take pride in what they look like, how they dress, what they had on, try to keep up their, you know, their appearance or whatnot. So I can remember a dude came in there, man. He had a pair of, and my shoe size is different. You know, I ain't got no real big feet or nothing like that. So it takes a dude that got a certain type of shoe that I can fit. A 7.5, 8.5, something like that, I might can fit. So I remember this dude had these pair of brand new Kobe Bryant's, man. And he was in my block, and he was trying to sell them. And man, I wanted them shoes, man. They look so crisp and new. So I made him an offer he couldn't refuse. Other dudes was trying to buy them, but like I said, only certain dudes were my size. So they was my size. I tried to get them. I think I remember ending up getting them, man, from him, man, for like $300-$400. You know, yeah, I paid that to get them shoes. And I got these shoes, and they was hating on me so bad, some of these female officers. When I got the shoes, I had got into graphic design class. So I was taking a graphic design class at the time. So when I'm going back and forth to class, you go to class every morning. So I had class every morning for 2.5 hours. So when I'm coming back from class, and this is the first time I wore these shoes. Now I just paid this dude for these shoes. Now, when I'm coming back from class, I see a CEO that tell me, oh, they want you in property. They say you got some property over there. Pure thinking back on it now, it's crazy. Pure larceny, right? Pure larceny. Man, it choked me up. It's so funny. The games they play, pure larceny, man. I ain't had no property over there. I ain't ordered nothing in it. So I'm like, okay, all right, I wait till I go back to the building, you know, and get my stuff. They were like, nah, they want you right now. You can come right now. So I go over there. So when I get over there, soon as I walk in there, the two property ladies, you know, they work property during the week, but sometimes they be in the visiting room because, you know, they ain't got nowhere else to work, because on the weekends, certain officers is delegated to the visiting room. So on the weekends, property ain't opening, so they usually work over the visiting room. So I get over there, man. These two, man, I don't know what to call them, man. But they first thing they say to me when I walk in there, one of them, she's so nasty and mean. She said, I said, yeah, they say I got some property over here. She said, oh, no, you ain't got no property over here, but you got some property you need to leave over here. You need to take them shoes off because they don't belong to you. They not on your property list. You have a pair of Nikes on your property list and a pair of such and such. Those are not on your property list, so you need to turn those in because they contraband. And I'm saying to myself, I just gave this dude this money for these shoes, and these women are so bored and so obsessed with my life that they done went and looked in my property file to see what type of shoes I have on because they seen me on the compound with a pair of shoes, and then they done went back and checked the files to see what I got, and then realized they ain't mine, so now they want to confiscate them. Man, I was blood mad. I mean, when I tell you blood mad, I'm blood mad. The fact that I just paid for them and the fact that they just so into what I'm doing, man, that just had me just, I say, what? So they said, yeah, you need to take them off. Those are not belong to you. I said, man, you tripping. These my shoes. She said, no, they're not. They get your property list right here. They are not your shoes. You need to take them off. So I said, look, hold on. You need to get somebody else over here because you don't know what you're talking about. She said, oh, you gonna take them off. Then they get ghettos on over. Then the other one said, oh, yeah, you coming up out of them. Man, that's when I got belligerent. You know, I got the, listen, let me tell you, bloom, 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 bloom. I said, listen, man, I ain't trying to hurt nothing. Boom. They get on the phone. They call big old sergeant come over there. I forget his name. Big old fat boy. He weigh about 400. He come over there first. What the problem is, I said, man, the problem is you got both of these women back here talking to me like I'm a child, and I ain't no child. I don't be playing that, man. They running their mouth. You better get them in order because I ain't the one to be played with. Oh, you gonna take them off? Yeah. You say what you want. They coming up off you. Man, I'm mad as on. I started cussing at him. He said, hold on, man. Don't be cussing at him like that. I said, man, you see how they talking to me? What are you talking about? Don't be cussing at them like that. You need to tell them to be professional. You know what I'm saying? You telling me what not to do. You need to talk to them. Talk to your co-workers. So they was like, man, the shoes don't belong to you. You got to take them off. They saying they ain't on your property list, whatever. I said, man, yeah, okay, whatever. I'll take them off when I get back to the building. You know, they said, nah, you can't leave here with them. I said, oh, so what I supposed to do? Walk all the way back to the building barefooted? Oh, we'll get you some slippers. We'll give you some slippers or some shower shoes that you can walk back in. Man, I'm telling you right now, man, I was super mad, man. I was super mad. He's sitting up there, he's scared, he's nervous because he don't know how I'm going to respond or how I'm going to react. So I'm looking at him. I said, you see they antagonize me, right? You can't see they trying to antagonize me. He said, man, just calm down, calm down. I said, ain't no calm down, man. I said, man, this is some foolishness, man. They so bored with their life, they worrying about what I'm doing. I said, y'all ain't got no life. You ain't got none. I said, your man probably ain't got no shoes like this. This is why you up on me. You know what I'm saying? Why you worrying about me? Just take them off. Yeah, you won't take them off. They ain't yours. Man, I was, woo. But man, yeah, I ended up taking the shoes off. They gave me some slippers, man. I ended up going back to the building. Needless to say, you know, I hold a grudge too all year round like dog hold fleas. I ain't like now one of them the rest of the time I was on that compound. Every time they see me, some of them, even as time went on, they try to speak to me. I just look at them like, I wish I would. I wish I would speak to you. I just kept on walking, man. But yeah, that's the hate that you might get in there for no reason at all. You know, the shoes ain't make them no difference. It ain't change you one way or the other. So why you worried about it? You know, but that's how they do because they got total control of your life. You have no say so. You have no wins. They always gonna try to impose their will on you, man, just because they can. You know, and this is prison, you know, and by now I understood that, but it didn't, take away from the fact that it still irritated me and it still bothered me, you know what I'm saying? But like I say, that was a loss. I had to take that loss. I had to take it straight on the chin, you know, and I did. But like I say, you know, like I was in graphic design class, which was new to me because I ain't know nothing about that at all, but I was learning, you know, I was doing my thing, man. I was enjoying myself as far as in the position that I was in, the best that I possibly could have been enjoying myself because I live for my visits. My visits every weekend was what I lived for, you know, because that gave me joy and that gave me enough energy and enough strength to make it through to the next weekend when I can get another visit. So everything that came in between, I try to compartmentalize it and deal with it. Be like, man, you gonna get a visit, man. You gonna see your wife, you gonna see your peoples on the weekends. My mom was coming to see me, you know, my sisters, you know what I'm saying? So I was okay. And man, like I say, you never can get okay in prison, man. And I can remember, man, you know, because just like I say, the women was jealous, the dudes was jealous as well. And being that they on the street and they on the outside, they always think they got something above you. They always think they better than you. And I can remember this big old muscular Bama that worked there, man, light-skinned cat. I can't remember his name, but he was a cold sucker, you know, but he was big, so he thought he was a tough guy. And he used to always work the visiting room. And he be in the front when the people be coming in, where they got to get processed. Now, when the women come in, they got to get strip searched and all that, or pat down by a woman, you know. And then they come through the other process where they sign in and come in. So this one officer, he always worked the front where they had to sign in and come in. So he done seen my wife coming in there every weekend, and there ain't no doubt in my mind he looking at her, because I know dudes. You know what I'm saying? He looking at her, and he done got so comfortable now that when she come in this day, he calls her by her first name. You know, like he familiar with her, like he know her. Like, oh, such. Oh, you coming in today, you all right? You ain't no problem up front. And so she look at him like, what you call me? He said, oh, excuse me. Then he called her Mrs., you know. But he did that to try to, you know, make his play or try to get familiar with her. So by the time she get in, my stepson had already got in, you know what I'm saying? And he come running up to me like he always do. Was one of my best parts of my visit. He used to always run up to me and jump up on me and hug me, man. He was so happy to see me. So he come in there and he said, you know, because I had told him, I had trained him to know, understand, and call the police, the COs clowns. That's all they is clowns, man. You know, so he come in there, he said, you know, the clown officer up there called Mom by her first name. Immediately I went into a fit of rage. I say, what? He said, yeah. I say, oh yeah. So when she get in and, you know, we greet each other, hug or whatever, she said, I said, what the CO say? And she said, hold on, don't get mad. I'm gonna tell you. I said, what happened? She said, oh, he said something, but I straightened him, I correct him. I said, what did he say? He said, he called me by my first name. And man, I was in a fit of rage. Only thing I could think about from that point on was, when can I see this dude? Because he got something coming.
The bacon special.
Yeah.
Pure deliciousness.
Pure deliciousness, man.
My name is Banky, man. Everybody calls me Banky. That's the name that I got from my grandmother when I was young. I'm coming out here after 30 years. Yeah, I ain't got nothing, but I'm gonna have something because I'm rich in personality, you know, and I'm rich in love. My family love me, and that's really all that counts.